YouTube, what's good, man? Celibate Scotty, bearded monk, back at it again. What's good? Dropping some content, man. Got to rendezvous with these girls one more time. Audio slaps across your lips. Know what I'm saying? I got something to talk to you about today, man. Something I felt inspired to talk to you about, to be honest. I don't know where you guys are from. Doesn't really matter. But it's about where you should be going, man. You know? Today I'm gonna talk about traveling, man. Just living your life. Don't be in the same city your whole time of your life, man. Go out there and travel, you know? Different places, new faces. Take a flight out, you know? Work for 5 weeks. Book a flight, learn the language, and get out there, man. So much more to be seen than where you are. It's not cool to be a local joker, man. See a lot of dudes acting tough where they are in their city. They can't do that shit when you go abroad, man. You know what I mean? Get packed in doing that stuff. Remember that story about that girl? The American black girl, the trucker? Or she called, I think, the sassy trucker or something. Went over to Dubai with all that sass. Them Dubai man wrapped her up and put her in jail. Talking that shit. Bitch, this ain't America. You know? Americans can be a little bit more arrogant though, you know? Little kids playing in the street. Yeah, man, she went out there. She went out there. With all that American arrogance and all that independent bitch attitude. Try and talk to them Dubai man crazy. And one thing you can't do in Dubai is act like a man out there. That's what mistake she made. She got put in jail. They took her passport off her. Slapped her in jail, man. Gave her back her passport. Running her mouth to her mum crying, talking about they're treating me unfairly out here. No, you went out there acting with that American bullshit. With all that arrogance, all that lip. All that I don't need no man attitude. And they dealt with you a certain way. So when she finally got released, talking about I ain't never going to Dubai again. You probably ain't allowed to go to Dubai again. They don't want you in that country. And that's one thing I rate about Dubai as well. They ain't playing them stupid games, man. Don't bring that Western shit over here. That's what I want to express to you guys as well, man. Learn to be humble, man. That is the best trait you can have. To be humble. Humility. Practice it. Take a trip out. Enjoy your life, man. But be humble, you know? Respect where you're going. Respect the culture. You never know who you might meet out there, man. You might meet a girl that you can bond with for real. Because I'll tell you something, I'm in London and I ain't got 10 seconds for any of these females out here, man. I really ain't. I don't want to talk, don't want to hug, I don't want to kiss, nothing. The only time I really think about doing something with females is when I come out of the city, to be honest. Like, I don't like a couple years ago, before I had my kid, man, I used to be in and out of the city, in and out of the country. I wouldn't even give a girl 10 seconds of my time if she was within like a 10-mile radius of me, man. I just weren't interested. And I started going out to different places. You know, I remember one time I was in Belgium. I met this girl from Texas, white girl, ginger hair. She was cute, man. And one thing about me, I love accents as well. You know, females with accents. And this girl would sound like she was from real Texas, bro. Like real Texas barbecue, you know what I'm saying? Fucking gorgeous, man. And that's what you gotta love, man. They say opposites attract. If you're a black man, don't be scared to come outside your race, bruv. Seriously, man. I'll tell you something. Black girls don't really like black men anyway. You know? That's how I personally feel. You know? You know, they're gonna shit on you. You know? I'm not talking from experience, by the way. I'm just looking around me and seeing what's going on, how men are being treated, you know. But what I'm ultimately saying, if you're a black man, a white man, don't always think the person who's the same colour as you has your best interest at heart. It doesn't work like that. That's why they say opposites attract. If you're a man, the opposite to you is a woman. If you're a masculine man, the opposite to you is a feminine woman. If you're a black man, I guess the opposite to you is a woman from outside of your tribe. Whatever colour that may come in, man. You know? Look, man. It's a short life. It's a stressful life. And as far as I know, we only got one of these joints. I was watching something this morning, right? Where a man... All that thing tough when they're driving. Getting dragged out of that bitch and punched up. Yeah, basically, the thing I was watching this morning was of a man, right? He had, obviously he had his dad. And his dad died, right? And then his son was born. But when the little boy saw pictures of the dad, he was saying to his dad, that's me in the picture. This was the little boy. He was like 3-4 years old, right? And he kept saying, that's me in the picture. So his dad was confused actually. He's like, what do you mean that's you? So anytime the guy, the father, would talk about his father in any earshot of the little boy, his son, the son would talk about, are you talking about me? As in, you mean me? So it confused the father. It was like, so what happened was the grandfather, as in the man's father, had a sister when he was, but his sister died when he was younger, right? And the man was saying, the little boy was saying, I had a sister, but she's with the fishes, right? So the father asked him, what do you mean by that? The little boy couldn't obviously explain himself because he's only like 3-4 years old. So doing a little digging, right? He come to find out he had his aunt. He had an aunt, as in his sister, right? She was killed when they were kids, and her body was wrapped up in a blanket and thrown in the Hudson River, I think, something like that, in a river, right? That's what the little boy meant, as in my sister, she's with the fishes, right? She's a fish now or something like that, he said. Something like that, right? Something a kid would say. And when he found out that his aunt was killed and dashed in the river, that's when he looked at the son like, what are you talking about? How did you know all this stuff? Right? And he started piecing it together. Every time the boy showed him a picture of his father, he said, look, that's me, that's me, that's me. Dad started getting emotional. He was like, listen, I don't understand what's going on here. But basically, when the man died, like his father died, right? The father said that God gave him a card, right? A card that allows you to reincarnate and go back in life, to life, right? And I thought about that. I thought that might be true because I've experienced something like this before, right? There was one time where I was in intensive unit, right? Because I had pneumonia in my chest. And it was like a mad situation, right? And I almost died from that. And I remember, I don't know what happened, but I went to a different plane of existence. That's where I saw my dad's mum and my dad's dad, right? I had never met these people. They died before I was born, right? This was before my son was born, at least like maybe a year or two before my son was born. So, right? So whatever plane of existence I was in, I met my grandma there, right? As in my dad's mum and my dad's dad. So basically, what my grandma was saying to me was, I've always wanted to meet you. But I remember this, I was confused about this, but I was still conscious, like I was actually there, right? So my grandma said to me, if you want to come with me, you can. But I want you to know, that will be the end of life for you as you know it. Like you're going to the other side of things now, if you come with me, right? So I looked at my granddad, and he looked at me as in, shaking his head as in, yeah, like you got to pack in this life. As in, you'll be dying as soon as you make a move, come with us. Like, as in, you'll flatline kind of thing, right? It's the same as someone is in a coma kind of thing, right? They're still here, but their existence, like their consciousness, is somewhere else. It's a madness, right? So what my grandma said to me is, listen, you can come with us and see what's next, as in end this life. But I gotta tell you, there's someone who's waiting to meet you. He just ain't here yet. So I was like, what do you mean by that? And she said, listen, give it time and you'll meet him soon. Right? And when my son was born, like a year after, or 2 years after, whenever it was, I finally understood what she meant. Right? She was talking about my son. Like, he can't wait to meet you. As if she had met him before. As if, like, my little boy was chilling with the Most High, you know what I mean? And then he got assigned to me, and then my grandma had met him on the sly or something. I don't know how it works. Yeah? So, when I was watching this thing earlier, and the man said he met God, and God gave him a card to go back and try life again. Right? He was reincarnated as his son's son. I want you to picture that. He was reincarnated as his son's son. So he was, basically God sent him back as his grandson. If you can wrap your mind around that. Right? That is how the little boy knew all these details and kept saying, look, it's me. In the pictures. Every time he saw a picture of his grandfather, he was saying to his dad, that's me, that's right. And he was pointing to the fucking, his dad. This shit was crazy, man. Right? So when I say you only got one life to live, no one that I know has ever come back, but I've experienced shit in my own life. Right? Everyone's going around in their head saying, is reincarnation real, blah, blah. I don't know. But I've been through some shit in my life, right? That's what I say. Death is a choice. Because I had a choice to die, but I chose life. And then my son was born shortly after. So what I'm saying to you fellas, don't take life for granted, man. Tomorrow ain't promised to nobody. The Most High don't owe you nothing. Live your life the best you can. And the best way you can live your life is abstaining. You have the best experiences. I'm telling you right now, right? I had a wet dream the other day, right? It was a bit weird subconsciously because the girl I had the wet dream with was some guy I used to chill with. It was his son's mum. So out of my mind, I was like, why would I dream about this girl? I would never do no shit like that in real life. right? I don't even find her attractive like that, because once my guy does something with a girl, I don't think about nothing to do with her. So I was confused when I woke up, right? But I remember, in the dream, I was saying to her, nah, we ain't doing nothing, right? And all I remember was playing with her puss, right? Now, it was mad wet, it was mad... Come on, you know how the vagina feels. Keep it PG on YouTube. I just remember playing with her clit or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I felt my helmet throbbing like this, right? This is what I'm saying to you. When you go on like a celibate journey, right? You're abstaining. I promise you, man. The actual vividry or the vividness of the wet dream, it feels so much better than actually being with a girl. I know it's hard to explain what I'm saying, but it might sound weird, but it just feels better, man. Because your dick is so sensitive, right? Because you ain't done nothing with it for a long time. Especially if you're not beaten, you know what I mean? Not meat beaten. You know what I mean? That's just not cool. But what I'm saying is, every time I've had a wet dream, to me, it has felt better than the actual thing in real life. Like, much better. Like, it actually feels like it's happening right now and then. I told you before, I've been abstaining for a long time, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes I've done something with a girl. I've had wet dreams, you know what I mean? But ultimately, this is the path I'm living. I think it works for me. It makes me feel close to the Most High. You know? I'll be scared to do stuff because I don't want to lose this energy that I got, this charisma, this magnetism, this law of attraction, so to speak. And I don't think it's worth it, man. And to be honest, sex is only for making yourself a son anyway, you know? You know what I mean? Like, I remember I was getting a blowjob from this Japanese chick when I was having a wet dream, man. But what I'm saying is, you're consciously knowing it's a dream, right? But it feels so real. And you're in control of it still, right? I remember this Japanese girl was giving me a blowjob. And I chose to let her, because I knew I was dreaming. This is how vivid it is. I knew I was dreaming, right? But I let her do what she was doing because it felt so fucking nice, right? And then when I knew I was getting to that point of ejaculating, I woke up. So I got all the good bits. You know what I'm saying? I got all the fun bits. What I'm saying is, man, it's nothing like a wet dream, fellas. I'm telling you. And the first time I had a wet dream, other than being a teenager, of course, like, it was like 33, 35 days in. But the shit is incredible, man. But I just want to put that message out there for you guys, man. Just live your life, man. Work hard. Make your money. Take trips. If you're someone that has no kids, take advantage of that. If you're in your early 20s, early 30s, you ain't got no babies, listen, take advantage of that. And what I'm saying is, don't put a whole lot of pressure on yourself. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say anything to anyone because it's not my place really, but what I'm saying is, unless you really want a big family, right? Learn to control your dick, man. Because you might have 3 kids with one girl and it will be so much harder to leave. You know? I don't mean leave as in walk out on her. Because you don't walk out on a girl unless she gives you reason to anyway. Because a man's not really built like that. You know? But what I'm saying is, Stop having all these babies, man. Putting pressure on yourself and you're draining your life. I was at work the other day and I met a guy who had 4 daughters. Was it 3 daughters or something like that? And he was like a couple years older than me, 37. But up here, he was going bald, man. He had a big old beard and all that stuff, but he was going bald. So basically, he was in the house with 4 females every single day. His wife and his 3 daughters. Cool guy. But I just felt the stress coming off him, man. I just felt stressful hearing it. I was listening to 50 Cent the other day, right, in an interview. And he was talking about Nick Cannon. How Nick Cannon has all these babies by different women. Like a motherfucking jackass, bro. But that's neither here nor there. That's Nick Cannon's stress. But 50 was like, nah, man. I ain't doing all that shit. And what he said, I could relate to him. He said, I don't want to have too much baby mothers because I don't want to be responsible for all these females. And females are not nice people once they feel like you're not their friend no more. Meaning, once you want to do your own thing, they get very bitter and very spiteful on you. You know what I mean? They can't do fuck all to hurt you, but if you've got kids with them, you know what's coming. They try to play their little games. Oh, I don't want to see the baby. Alright, cool. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, I knew what 50 meant because I've got a son, 1 boy. You know? But I've never wanted to have a whole lot of kids with different women, man. You know what I mean? It's never really been my thing, man. I've seen people just push out kids, different girls, you know? I'm telling you, fellas, if you don't know some dick control, you'll be having nothing but daughters. Because this is what the Most High will see you are worthy of. Alright, give him some daughters. Don't put pressure on your life unnecessarily, man. Live your life before you give your life to a woman. And then you have kids right by her. And then your whole life becomes now, it's just, I've got to work to provide for this woman. Who ain't gonna appreciate it too much anyway, let's be honest. If she's a Western woman, minded, she ain't gonna appreciate shit that you do for her. She's gonna complain all the time. She's gonna act like she expects you to do everything and anything for her. You know, because these Western females are ungrateful, let's be honest, man. In the Western world, I'm not saying all females, I'm saying in the Western world, females are bloody ungrateful, man. And they got a short memory as well, you know. You can take them out of their little situations, change life for them, and they'll act like they don't know nothing about what you did for them. Get your passports up, enjoy your life, work hard, grind hard, and take your life seriously, man. Your masculinity seriously. Develop a connection with the Most High, and live your life in different places. Now, me personally, I might take 3 months out and go to Italy and live and work out there for a little while. You know, I've got a few skills in construction. I can lay some bricks. You know, I'm training to do forklift driving. And take your talent somewhere else, man. You know what I mean? You never know, man. You live in a different country. I'll tell you one thing my dad said to me when I was younger, right? I had a bottle of water in my hand, in my house. And the water wasn't moving in the bottle. My dad said, don't drink that. I said, why? It's water. He said, that's stagnated water, son. And once water stagnates, I'm not sure it's too good. But he said, it's like a man's mind. Once a man's mind starts to stagnate, it's not good for him, mentally. You got to switch it up every now and again and find some inspiration, move around, you know? If you're finding life hard to deal with, man, or it's just getting on top of you, it's just long, bro. Man, get your passport or drive to another city and do something else with your life, man. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I'll always respect the man that comes from a different country and went to a different country and started a life for himself and made it. That's a man that I can respect. What's up, kitty? Get out of here, I'm talking. Come and check you later. You'll be a fool to be born in one place and spend your whole life there, man. Go for yourself, enjoy yourself, and just live. Stop waiting for your boys. Don't go on no trips with girls or your girl. Just live your own life as a man. And understand, living as a man is a lonely life sometimes anyway. Not lonely, but it's a separated life. It's a secluded life. I'm not gonna say lonely like it gets lonely, like you get upset. Like, I love being by myself, man. Got my own fortress of solitude like Superman, you know? I love traveling. I love being in the air. I love being on trains, driving past rural, I won't call it rural, but countrysides where there's bloody horses and cows and a lot of green grass. I'll tell you something, right? All this overpopulated bullshit they keep talking about on the news or whatever, it's lies, man. Once you travel, you see how much space is really out there. Your mind opens up once you start traveling, man. You know? You enjoy the destination. You enjoy getting there, like on the way there, and you enjoy actually being there. Fellas, enjoy your life, man. Take it seriously. Live, travel. Bearded monk, I'm gone.